Ha, senga shunaqa uchrasa kerak.
Bu meni mehmonga chaqiryapti. Borsam maylimi?
Sizni so'raydiganlar ro'yxatida yana kimlar bor?
Bu gapingiz ham to'g'ri.
Azim, baqirmang.
O'zi ketyapti, uni orzulari bor. Avval unaqa emasdi.
Otangni miyasini qoqqan.
Maylimmi uchib ko'rsam?
Bemalol, albatta.
The entire street seemed to fall silent. Qodir stood frozen at the doorway while the officials waited for an answer. His mother looked from their faces back to her son. For the first time in years, she was afraid of what she might hear next. Is there a problem? Qodir asked, trying to sound calm. One of the officials handed him a document. We need you to come with us for questioning. His mother's hands began trembling. Questioning about what? The men exchanged glances. Regarding a complaint that has been officially registered. The words hit the house like thunder. Qodir immediately understood. Valia. She had really done it. His mother slowly sat down. The strength seemed to leave her body. All these years she had defended her son against everyone, against neighbors, against relatives, against rumors. Now she wasn't sure she could defend him anymore. Meanwhile, across the street, the mysterious witness continued watching from inside the parked car. The person's face remained hidden in darkness. Only their eyes were visible, patient, waiting. As Qodir left with the officials, the mysterious figure quietly picked up a phone. They took him. A voice answered. Good. The truth is finally getting closer. The call ended, but the mystery only deepened. Elsewhere, Nozima spent the night awake. Farhod's silence continued haunting her. Not because he admitted loving Maftuna, because he never denied it. That hurt even more. She remembered the way he looked away, the way his eyes filled with memories, the way his voice disappeared. Nozima sat beside the window until sunrise. Questions refused to leave her mind. Was she really entering a marriage built on love, or was she simply filling an empty place someone else left behind? Farhod wasn't sleeping either. He sat alone in his room. The unopened wedding suit hung nearby. Everyone expected him to be happy, excited, ready. Instead, he felt trapped between two lives. A memory suddenly flashed through his mind. A laugh, a promise, a dream he once believed would last forever. Sometimes the hardest thing isn't losing someone. It's learning how to continue breathing afterward. The next morning, tension spread through both families. News about Qodir's questioning traveled quickly. Neighbors started talking. Rumors grew. Speculation spread everywhere. Valia heard the news as well. For a brief moment, she felt satisfaction. Then guilt followed. Not because she regretted her decision, because she knew the battle had only begun. People would judge her, accuse her, blame her. But she had already accepted that price. Her daughter, however, looked frightened. What if everything gets worse? Valia hugged her tightly. Sometimes things must get worse before they become better. At the same time, Sodiq faced problems of his own. The blackmail file remained on his desk. Every page felt heavier than the last. He had spent years building his reputation. One mistake from the past could destroy everything. Afzal noticed his unusual behavior. You haven't touched your coffee. Sodiq forced a smile. I'm just tired. But Afzal wasn't convinced. For the first time, he wondered whether his boss was hiding something dangerous. Part 2. That afternoon, an unexpected visitor arrived at Nozima's house. When the door opened, everyone was surprised. Matluba stood outside. The atmosphere immediately became uncomfortable. Nozima's mother welcomed her politely, but nobody knew what she wanted. Matluba slowly entered the living room. Her eyes wandered around the house. Wedding decorations, prepared gifts, happiness, everything that once belonged to her daughter's future. For a moment, pain crossed her face. Then she forced herself to smile. I came because there are things that should be said before a wedding. The room became silent. Nozima sat nervously. Matluba looked directly at her. You are not responsible for anyone else's fate. Nozima lowered her eyes. I know. No, you only think you know. Matluba's voice softened. If you marry Farhod, do it because you love him, not because you feel sorry for him. The words struck deeply, because they touched the very fear Nozima had been hiding. After Matluba left, Nozima couldn't stop thinking about that conversation. Hours later, she made a decision. She called Farhod. We need to talk. Her voice sounded different. Farhod immediately sensed it. That evening they met alone. No parents, no relatives, no interruptions. Only truth. Nozima looked directly into his eyes. If Maftuna came back today, Farhod froze. She continued, if she walked through that door alive, Would you still marry me? The question landed like a knife. Farhod couldn't answer immediately. Seconds passed, then a minute. Nozima smiled sadly. I understand. She stood up. Farhod grabbed her hand. Nozima, wait. But she gently pulled away. For the first time, their wedding felt uncertain. Meanwhile, Qodir returned home. His face looked exhausted. His mother immediately confronted him. Tell me everything. This time he couldn't hide, couldn't lie, couldn't escape. Slowly he admitted more than he ever intended. Every confession shattered another piece of trust. His mother's eyes filled with tears, not from anger, from disappointment. When he finally finished speaking, she whispered, I raised you better than this. Those words hurt more than any punishment. But before either of them could continue, another shock arrived. A phone call. Valia's lawyer. New evidence had surfaced. Evidence strong enough to change the entire case. And the evidence came from the mysterious witness. The same witness nobody had identified yet. Later that night, the witness finally stepped out of the shadows. A hood covered their head. Their face remained hidden. They walked toward a mailbox and slipped an envelope inside. The envelope was addressed to Farhod. Why Farhod? What connection could he possibly have to all this? Inside the envelope was a photograph, an old photograph, a photograph capable of changing multiple lives. The final scene shows Farhod opening the envelope late at night. His hands begin shaking. The color drains from his face. He whispers only one name. Impossible. The photograph falls onto the floor. The camera slowly zooms in. And just before viewers can clearly see the image, the screen cuts to black.